hear it.
There we go. Okay. You want to try it?
Is that better?
Yeah. Okay, there we go. You got you on speaker now.
Okay. Hi guys. Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. Hi. I'm Michale Hitchcock. I'm an electrical engineer at Garmin here down in Olathe, Kansas, near Kansas City. Like I said, I'm your teacher's son. I went to Hempstead and graduated back in 2003, which seems like a really long time ago now. I've been working here at Garmin since 2008, so I just had a 7-year anniversary, which is kind of hard to believe too. I don't know how much you kind of talked about what I do, or if anything, but basically at Garmin we design mostly GPS devices. So I've got some stuff here, like, I don't know if you can really see, but that's basically like a car GPS. We call it a newbie. You've probably seen those before. So we do stuff like that. We also have like small little handheld things like this that, hikers use, stuff like that. We've got bigger ones like this guy that is actually set up because it floats if you drop it in the water.
Cool.
So canoers and kayakers really like that. We've got, little bike things. We've got running watches. More running watches.
Slow down when you hold them up, okay?
What's that?
Slow down and hold them up, because it's
sorry.
it's kind of hard to see with the glare.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So I got running watches and stuff like this. These are some older ones, so they're, I don't know if you can tell, they're pretty chunky on your wrist. We've even got, this was one that I worked on a long time ago. It's a dog collar.
Cool.
So you basically, put it on the dog. I'm not going to buckle it on. I don't want to get a tight thing. So you walk around with it, and then it counts your steps, and you can get an idea of whether you were active or if you just sat on the couch all day. So, the actual look of the product, what you can see here is basically all the plastics and that type of thing. That's what we call the mechanical engineers. That would be their responsibility. What I do as an electrical engineer is I do essentially the insides of it. So I took this Vivo Fit that you see here, pretty small. If you take it out of the band, which I should be better at doing, but I'm having trouble with for some reason.
So Brandon has the fit grip. He has the competitor.
So take it out of the band. Basically this is all you have. And if you open it up,
So this is what he's
you'll
showing
get
right now.
hard to show, but basically spot for the batteries on the back, and then you've got a front case that has a display, and what I consider the most important stuff, this is basically we call it the printed circuit board, and so this is what it's my job to design, and so basically everything that makes the device run and operate, so to be able to count steps, for it to talk to the display and tell the display, what numbers to show, all that happens right here. And I don't know if you can really tell, but it's pretty tiny. And so it's the big challenge for us is, how do we fit all the stuff that we need in a device, onto this small of the circuit board. And then the other challenge is how do we connect everything up to make sure that it works. So I've got a little demonstration here that I'm going to try to see if I can get this to work. So can you guys see what's on my computer screen?
It looks
Looks like a virtual picture of a circuit board.
So yeah, so this is basically what the circuit board is if you were able to see through it like in X-ray vision. So it shows you essentially every single layer. There's 6 of them. And when I'm designing, I will look at them, basically one at a time. So this would be the top layer. And so this tells me like this is just a part here. I don't know if you saw it highlighted, but that's what tells you how many steps you have. There's, parts here that we use for, basically taking the power from the batteries and then converting it so that we can use the power. And so there's, all these different parts, and they have to be placed in particular spots because, you probably can tell all the parts that someone can. And so I have to, wire everything up. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but there's, lines going every which way, and then, stuff like that. Are you having trouble seeing?
Well, on the screen that we have up, pulled down, it's hard to see. I can see it on my computer screen. It's just kind of blurred on the screen that they're seeing it on.
Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but, that is essentially, by going through and basically just kind of connecting up, just like connecting up wires. Essentially, all I'm doing is, instead of them being actual wires, I'm just saying, I start with a sheet of copper and then we cut it up into traces, and so that allows us to wire everything up that we need to get it to work. So, I guess that's kind of the quick idea of what I do at work. Do you guys have any questions about some of the stuff that we do here or stuff that I do?
Do you have any questions for him?
Do you guys make iPods?
No.
What was that?
Do you make iPods?
Do we make iPods?
Apple does.
No, I mean, we do have some stuff that we have that will play music, but for the most part, everybody already has an iPod, so we don't really try to compete with that. So we did make cell phones a couple of years ago, but they weren't really as popular as we'd hoped, so we don't really make cell phones anymore either.
So what about the weather device you had that crashed as we were driving? You remember when we were in Colorado?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've actually got that one down here, too. So that was this giant beast of a thing.
Cool.
It weighs like 4 pounds, which is kind of crazy. But this was actually a device that pilots will use. Not commercial pilots, but like small private planes. And so that's actually something that's pretty popular, because if you want to have a device that is like goes into a commercial airplane, it'll cost maybe $100,000, or it can cost even more than that. Which obviously, if you own a private plane, you could probably not afford unless you were super rich. But somebody that doesn't need all the features that a commercial airline would, they could buy something like this for $800 or $900 and allow them to get GPS in their plane, for 1/100th or 1/1000th the cost of a full professional system. But this guy, probably hard to see, but this one's probably 8 or 9 years old. And it's kind of fun to look at some of the real old stuff we have, because it seems really dated now.
So in production, how many people does it take to put a device together? Who are all the people that collaborate?
So on a typical project team, there'll be, maybe there's kind of different people have a different amount of input into an individual project. Most projects will just have a single electrical engineer like me, and we usually have a single mechanical engineer. They'll be the ones that design all the plastic case and everything that kind of surrounds the unit. We'll typically have, one or two guys that write software for the particular device. And so that team of, maybe 3 or 4 guys, they'll follow the project from start to finish. But we'll have a lot of other people. We have, obviously we have managers. We also have a marketing team that needs to help us, design the package. So, we've got all these, boxes and stuff like that, and I have to, show you what the device does and kind of explain the features. So we'll have a marketing team that'll do that. We'll have a team that designs the advertisement. If you want to do TV commercials, there's a whole team of people that will work on that. Some of the products that we have, like the Vivo Fit that I showed you before, we'll have phone apps that work with it. So we have an app called Garmin Connect, and that basically lets you connect to your device and lets you, keep track of if you go running or if you're just, walking and you want to keep track of your steps from day to day. We'll have anywhere from 10 to 20 or 30 people working on just, some of the app software sometimes. And they don't necessarily work on the project the whole way through, but, they'll spend a month and we'll have like 20 people working on the same thing, and then they'll get done and then they'll go and they'll work on another project. So, depending on, how involved, we could have 100 different people that are all working on just one project at a particular time. But usually the product itself, it usually ends up being about 4 or 5 people that are really focused on just that particular project.
What kinds of, education-wise, with some of the different positions at Garmin?
So, for engineers like us, I got a degree in electrical engineering. Mechanical engineers, there's mechanical engineering. The software guys, a lot of times will either be computer science majors or computer engineering majors. We have, programmers and coders that, some of them just, do app software entirely instead of, they'll even, I think some schools will have programs where they basically just teach you how to write app software. We'll also have people that write the manuals that explain, how you use the device. So we call them technical writers. Usually they'll be, either English majors or there are some schools that have programs in technical writing. That's something that, if you are interested in writing in English, a lot of times it's easier to get a job if you focus more on that technical path. We'll have, our marketing team and stuff, a lot of them will be, marketing majors or, some type of business, some of them will be MBA students. Really a pretty wide variety of disciplines that work on it. Most of the guys that I interact with, though, they're typically engineering majors. So, and, sorry?
I was just going to say, they have jobs, somebody's coming out of an NICC or a community college, or are there jobs where they go right out of high school?
Well, so some of the stuff, we've got probably 3,000 people that work in our facility here in Olathe. Of those, maybe half of them would be, kind of the engineering side. We've got a whole entire warehouse and shipping. Basically, any Garmin product that's sold in the United States, it comes through our warehouse here. And so all the guys who work, I mean, you know, we're receiving shipments from, you know, some company that's based out of California, making sure that the stuff gets to our warehouse and then goes to where it needs to go. So we'll have like a lot of people that work in that. That'll be like a transportation and logistics type program, which obviously is, you know, for us, if we don't have that, we don't have a product at all. Another thing that we would do, obviously like our app, you know, our Garmin Connect app and a lot of our, you know, like our Garmin website and all of that, we have an IT department that handles all of that. And so we have a lot of jobs where people will be, you know, they call like, I think, I don't remember what the name is, but application software. Basically, they do kind of software that runs our website, runs our app, kind of on the, you know, basically what's hidden from the customer. So I know that a lot of the IT guys and stuff, there's a lot of programs and stuff. I think like Johnson County Community College nearby, they have programs and stuff to learn how to write applications like that. So there's a lot more to Garmin than just the engineering side of things.
Do you guys have any questions? Thomas?
What's the hardest project you've had to work on there?
The hardest project for me was probably the Vivo Fit project that I just showed you. I mean, the thing seems really small, but because it's been a really popular product for us, and we sell, you know, we've sold, I think, close to 2 million of them already. There's just, you have to be really sure that everything works and works perfectly, because, you know, if you have some problem that affects, you know, 1% of all the units you ship, then, you know, that's tens of thousands of customers that you have that are unhappy. And, you know, we basically try to do that project, you know, it probably should have taken us 16 months, and we basically had 11 to do it. So there was a lot of time pressure, and, you know, a lot of stuff had to go exactly right in order for us to get done on time. But it's been really successful, so, you know, it's something that's been kind of fun to be a part of.
Anybody else have any questions?
Where does this product get sold from?
Where does this product get sold from? So where do they sell them? Is what he's asking, I think, right?
Like major stores.
What stores do you sell them through?
So a lot of that, it all kind of depends on what the product is. So something like a Vivo Fit.
Oh.
Is that what you want, where they sell the Vivo Fit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you still there?
Like you go like Target, Walmart,
We
and
lost
stuff
you.
like that.
We lost you for a little bit, so we missed.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, you know, some products will sell everywhere. You know, Target, Walmart, at, you know, sports stores like Dick's Sporting Goods. You know, some of the more specialty products like the dog tracker that I showed you before. That'll be more of like a Cabela's or a Bass Pro Shop type of thing. We'll even have, you know, smaller internet retailers that will sell products like that. You know, some things you can actually buy from the Garmin website, but usually we prefer to go through, you know, specialty retailers and stuff like that. You know, there's bike shops, we'll sell our bike computers through bike shops, and we'll have, you know, a shoe store, maybe that's where we'll sell our running watches and things like that. It's all, you know, you want to sell, you know, products that are designed for a particular type of customer. You want to, you know, make sure you're selling those at stores where you know those people are going to be going to, and they're going to be looking for, you know, people that can kind of help them make the right decision as to what they want to buy. So it really all depends on the product.
else have anything?
People like sales outside the country.
Oh, Cecil wants to know if you sell anything outside of the country. So
Yeah, we've got distributors all over the world. We usually, they'll be like, Garmin companies essentially, but, we sell stuff all over Europe. We sell stuff in China, Japan, Australia. I know we've got a division in South Africa. We sell stuff all over South America. We don't necessarily sell every product everywhere because, some things you have to do a lot of work to get it approved to sell in another country, especially like the dog tracker that I showed you it is a ridiculous amount of work to get that approved to be sold in some countries, because every country will want to have their own particular rules over, how you transmit and, what type of radio you use and stuff like that. So, sometimes if we think that there's a lot of money to be made by selling in a country, we'll go through the work, and then other times we'll say, well, we're sorry, but it's not worth our time and effort if we think we're only going to sell 100 units in a particular country. So, again, that can kind of depend on the product. Something like a newbie or a car GPS, we try to sell those pretty much anywhere we possibly can because they usually sell pretty well.
Anything else?
How much do you get paid?
What's the average pay for an engineer?
How much I get paid?
Yeah, they want to know how much.
So when I started out, I think I was making, it was close to $60,000 a year, and that's pretty standard for a starting electrical engineer. Now I make a little bit more than that, but I don't want to shout it too loudly in case I make more than some of my coworkers. But no, it's
a 4-year degree, so
a pretty good.
keep cutting out.
Look at his face.
Oh, we lost him. All right.
Oh, sorry. Decline.
Sorry, we lost you.
No, that's all right. Can you guys see me?
No.
Nope, you're invisible.
Right there.
There we go.
Right. When did I cut out?
Right after you were saying that you didn't want to shout out what you made.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm just gonna say it's a good job because I feel like I get to think creatively. I get to work on a lot of interesting problems, and I get to do new stuff. Every project is different, has its own different kind of requirements and skills that you need to learn and understand. And it makes it fun to come into work. Plus, you get to take home a lot of neat toys, so that's always good too.
The family benefit.
And I'm sure my mom probably likes it too because she gets a lot of free stuff.
Yep. Alright, so we should probably let you have some lunch, huh?
Oh, actually, I ate before this.
No.
I never would have made it through the call if I didn't eat beforehand.
So, I don't know. Do you guys have any other questions?
How long did it take him to get where he is right now?
How long
What was it?
How long did it take you to get where you are now?
Where I am in my job, or?
Yeah, I think.
So, I basically started as they call it a design engineer, and I do a lot of the same stuff that I did, right from the very start. I just have basically more responsibility and harder projects that I work on now. So, basically kind of, for us, it's not really like you have to, move up into higher positions and stuff. It was more of as I worked and got, better at my job, they trusted me with more and more responsibility. So it probably took about 2 years before I was actually leading my own projects. So that's probably the biggest kind of jump that you make as a design engineer. So really didn't take all that long though.
Anything else? They're all engrossed in their technology.
No, that's good.
Thanks for making it.
I guess nobody on any other conference, so we'll let
Okay.
you go and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
All right.
Have a good rest of the day.
All right, thanks, Mike. Talk to you later.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.